A strange pit on an isolated island in the middle of the ocean has surrounded itself with many mysteries and legends. It has cost people 264 years of exploration, resulted in numerous casualties, and incurred enormous expenses. It is said to be a cursed island, and some believe that the devil is trapped in the pit there due to the disasters that occur every time they get closer to solving the mystery. However, what keeps people searching to this day is the belief that a massive treasure is buried beneath the ground, waiting for someone to find it. Before we begin, if you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and activate the notification bell to receive our videos as soon as they are posted. On the southern shore of Nova Scotia in Canada lies a small island covering about 140 acres. It is one of the 350 islands that make up Mahone Bay, which overlooks the Atlantic Ocean. Since its discovery, this island has been surrounded by a veil of mystery. This island is the only one in the bay with a large number of oak trees, and no one knows if these trees are native or if they were planted by people. That's why the island was named Oak Island, as it was mostly covered by forests, leaving it sparsely populated with very few residents. One day in 1795, a 16-year-old teenager named Daniel McGinnis went to the island to hunt. According to his account, he saw a strange light coming from the midst of the trees. When he went to investigate the source of the light, he noticed a spot under a tree that appeared to be a covered pit. At that moment, he thought there might be treasure buried underground, especially since some people said that pirates had passed through the island in the 17th century. Since the famous pirate William Kidd was known for burying his treasures, there was a possibility that he had visited the island and buried treasure there. Daniel excitedly shared what he saw with two friends, and they decided to explore the next day with digging tools, hoping to return rich. As they began digging, they reached a depth of about 60 centimeters and discovered a circle of stones surrounding a pit. It seemed like someone had marked the spot. Encouraged, they continued digging until they reached a depth of 3 meters, where they encountered a wooden barrier cut exactly to the size of the pit, indicating that something was hidden beneath it. Their excitement grew as they broke through the wood and found another mound of dirt. They continued digging until they reached another wooden barrier at a depth of 30 meters. At this point, they realized that the situation was beyond their capabilities, and that continuing might prevent them from getting out, so they decided to stop and seek help. After 7 years of attempts to find someone to assist them with their search for the rumored treasure, they finally managed in 1802 to recruit businessman Samuel Ball. Upon hearing the story, the matter grew in his mind, and he founded the Onslow Company with the primary goal of recovering the Oak Island treasure. In 1703, they officially resumed work from where Daniel and his friends had left off. They discovered that every time they dug 30 meters, they encountered wooden planks blocking their path, just like those faced by Daniel. This increased the workers' enthusiasm and gave them hope that the treasure was immense and that the mystery had no end. Particularly intriguing was the discovery of coconut fibers in one of the layers, despite the fact that coconut trees do not grow in that area. The closest coconut tree was approximately 2,400 meters away, suggesting that someone had deliberately placed the fibers there. They began to suspect that the matter might indeed be related to piracy. Although this discovery seemed like a step closer to solving the mystery, the situation became even more complex when they reached a depth of exactly 28 meters below the surface, equivalent to the height of a 10-story building. They encountered a solid object, which, when examined, turned out to be a type of rock similar to granite. Surprisingly, this type of rock is very rare and difficult to find in the area, but was well known to ancient Egyptians. They immediately suspected it was part of the treasure and that it was a stone stolen from Egypt. However, what further amazed them was that the stone had inscriptions in a strange language they had never seen before. After many attempts to translate, they found that the inscription read, "Under 40 feet, 2 million coins buried." Despite some people rejecting this interpretation, the mystery continued. They said it was just nonsense, but the majority considered it conclusive evidence of the treasure. At a depth of 30 meters, they encountered another obstacle, a wooden box of sorts. At that moment, they believed they had finally found the treasure, so they decided to leave it for the night and return the next day to retrieve it at their leisure. However, when they returned the next day, they were met with a huge shock. The pit was flooded with massive amounts of water. No matter how much water they pumped out, it quickly refilled even more than before. Lacking the equipment to address this problem, they halted the excavation. Eventually, after they gave up and the company itself was dissolved in 1805, the interest in the island and the pit increased significantly due to the discovery of the stone and its inscription. In 1849, an exploratory expedition with more advanced equipment set out to find the treasure. This time, they confirmed the existence of a wooden box under the water. Their hope was further boosted when they found 3 gold rings. The first task was to solve the water problem. They noticed that the water level increased and fluctuated as if it were tidal. They deduced that there was a source supplying the pit with water and began a new excavation to find it. They discovered a tunnel 150 meters away from the pit, which was the source of the water. Unfortunately, their joy was short-lived as they encountered the same problem. Every time they pumped out the water, it refilled again. This indicated that there might be another tunnel connected to this one, possibly more than one, all coming from the ocean. Consequently, in 1851, they abandoned the idea completely after losing hope and running out of money due to the many difficulties faced by the explorers each time they tried to reach a solution. A belief emerged among people that the treasure would only be revealed after the death of 7 people. Unfortunately, the number of victims has reached 6 so far. The first was in 1860 when they tried to pump the water using steam-powered pumps, which exploded and killed the expedition members. Then, 37 years later, in 1897, one of the explorers died under mysterious circumstances. The most famous incident occurred in 1965 when motorcyclist Robert Ristall decided to take on the challenge with his 18-year-old son, his friend, and a group of helpers. On August 17th, Ristall's son was shocked to find his father unconscious in the pit. When he tried to help, he also lost consciousness and fell beside his father. His friend went down to assist them, but also lost consciousness. The same fate befell 2 of the helpers. One of them concluded that carbon monoxide poisoning was the cause. Unfortunately, only one person survived. Ristall, his son, his partner, and 1 helper all died. Since then, people have started to fear the island, and rumors spread that it is cursed and that the treasure was protected by satanic rituals. Others claimed that the pit itself was the devil's abode, while some even suggested that strange animals guarded the pit with glowing eyes. Despite all the theories and the mysterious events surrounding the island, it has not been the only place visited in its history. Many expeditions have explored Oak Island, discovering strange artifacts from different times, which only complicate the mystery further. To this day, the search continues. 2 brothers, Rick and Marty Lagina, have been searching for the treasure since 2007 and have been documenting their journey daily in a television program that has been running for 10 seasons. Yet, no one has uncovered the secret of the pit or the rumored treasure. Some strange theories suggest that the treasure will only appear after all the oak trees on the island die. Curiously, all the trees have indeed died except for one. So, will the last tree's death reveal the treasure, or will it all turn out to be a myth? Share your thoughts in the comments below. That's all for now. If you made it this far, you're the best. Please give us a like before you leave so we know how many people reach the end. Don't forget, if you have any episode suggestions, write them in the comments. Goodbye.